Welcome to another edition of Manitoba Music Makers. I'm your host, Frank McGwire, and tonight we got a good one. Or today, or whenever you're watching, all right? Because we've got a local group that's been going now for about 6-7 years, and I'm happy to finally have them on this program. It's been about 8-9 shows in now. And I'm tickled to have with me Bethel Road in studio. Morgan, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Jared, how you doing?
Sweaty, I'm great. Sorry.
A little warm in here, sorry guys and gals. Scott on the end there with the cowboy hat, keeping the sweat out of his eyes with it.
Absolutely.
He's the only smart one.
Welcome to Triple M.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for finally making time to be here with us.
It's been great. Yeah.
You've probably heard of the show. It's like a news magazine, music magazine type of video show that I'm trying to create. And the powers that be here at WCG said, yeah, let's go for it, Frank. Let's make it happen. We believe in your vision. We'll see what we can do with it. And so far, this is actually going to be show number 9.
Awesome.
Show number 9.
Such a nice, needed place for musicians to be.
Super. And, you know, it's like another stage for you guys and gal to come and do your thing with. And, you know, more stages for the performers, the better.
Absolutely.
Right?
Correct.
Speaking of which, where was the last show when you guys played here in Westman?
We played in January at the Riverbank Curling Club for the Brandon City Curling Bonspiel. And I think that was our second or third year.
Second year, and
Second
we're
year.
doing it again.
Yeah.
On the intro, I said 7 years or so. Is that about right for how long you've been together as a group?
Yeah, we had that void of COVID in the middle there, but yeah, we started, I guess, seven years ago, and yeah, all of us then, I think, we just had one kid each, and now we're up to almost 7 between the 3 of us.
Wow.
We're busy.
It's like the Brady Bunch with kids. It's great. Okay, so now you've been in different bands through your musical lives, I suppose we could call it that, careers in some cases. Whose idea was it to get Bethel Road together? Because it's like you got a little bit of, there's country in there, there's the 3-part harmonies going on. It's a very interesting act, and it's one that really stands out because it's unique when you compare it to whatever else is going on, at least in this region. So who was the one that said, yeah, this is going to work, I'm going to call Scott, or I'm going to call, who picked up the phone first?
Well, actually, it was kind of funny. Jared was playing with another friend of his at an event that I was going to, and I asked if I could hop up and do a couple songs because it was for a family member.
Okay.
And
who, of course, asked us ahead of time, and we were like, oh, yeah, okay, sure.
yeah, a little worried about what they were getting into.
Yeah.
And
then it happened, and you went, hey.
Yeah, this could be something. And so then Jared, I guess it was your idea, really, though, to put the 3 of us together.
Yeah, no, yeah, kind of, we waited a little bit. It was a bit of time, and then things were kind of fizzling out in that avenue, and I thought, maybe I should give Morgan a shout. And so we talked about it, and I said, you know, it'd be awesome if we put Scotty here in it. So
We started out talking about doing a duo, but he was the perfect addition.
another great
kind
voice.
of the gleesome threesome.
He's the glue. He's the glue.
Yeah, he's the glue. Well, he's got the backbeat, right?
100%.
So, you know, and the high harmony too. So you can't go wrong with that. It works well. You've done quite a few shows in the last 7 years.
Yeah, we've been pretty busy. Yeah.
How many? I don't know, but it's slowed down a bit. We all got kids, as we said.
Okay.
So,
And other bands you've been in over the years, obviously, people have seen you in different incarnations of musical creations, right? Care to mention any of those now? Scott, you do some talking. Come on,
Scott,
man.
we might be here for a
Anytime. The
while.
water's fun.
So I'll name.
I know a few, but
just a few. So there was Tangled, which was an original hard rock metal group, and then I did.
Which you would never know looking at the cowboy sitting here now. That he used to have a mohawk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was fun. Did Nothing But Trouble for like 13, 15 years. I can't remember how long that was. I played with Helen and the Heartbreakers.
Oh yeah.
Playing right now also with Armadillo. I guess those are just some of the ones that are just top of the head.
Excellent.
a lot, but started off with CP Express. I know you're gonna love them. Played with Ainsley Friesen. There was quite a few in there. Joined Nothing But Trouble in 2012. Was with that band for 7 years. Along the way, me and Mike Edgar were doing Booze Brothers duo. That's where she saw us.
Right.
And then, yeah, we
got the 64.
Oh yeah, these guys.
then we started our duo after that, the 64. We don't play that much, but and then yeah, Bethel Road. We did briefly start a band with another bandmate of yours, Mike Leach. Originally, we were a three-piece coming out of Nothing But Trouble, and then we turned it into a four-piece just before COVID, and it crushed it, and decided to disband it. But we had some fun with those guys too. But yeah, we're here now.
And I'm kind of a different avenue. I started out, as we were talking earlier, in the competition world and sang in Orange Crush and Dauphin's Country Fest and a couple in North Dakota.
You made me feel really old, Morgan, in the green room before we got tape in here. She's going, I remember you used to host the Orange Crush Talent Search Contest. Yeah. And I said,
it was great.
When was the first time you sang in that? She said, I was 8.
I was 8.
And I'm like, okay.
I sang Independence Day. I vividly remember it. It was a good gig. But no, I would say that the first, I did my own stuff in about 2009 and had guys kind of playing with me, but I didn't have a band. And so this is probably the first band that I've been in. And yeah, I was lucky enough back then to release some music to radio, but not just under my name. So this is my first band.
Well, you sounded great at the age of 8, and it sounds like you've worked on it and you've continued through the years, and you're outstanding now with Bethel Road. A lot of bands, like when you listen to a band for the first time, you always think, oh boy, they're big fans of this band or that artist or whatever. And I want to get talking about inspirations now, musical inspirations, because we all kind of, a lot of people that wind up getting in bands come from musical households, right? And, it's mom and dad's record collection and whatnot. And I actually started from a country background before I got into my older siblings' music. And then, of course, country was out the window, and I was into all the 70s rock. How did it come for you folks, like your musical inspirations, that you still kind of, put on the altar today, and they're your gods or goddesses? Morgan, we'll start with you, and we'll go back to the guys.
I grew up in a very musical family. My grandma she could pick up any instrument and play it by ear kind of thing. And so, especially the fiddle and the guitar. And so anytime we had family gatherings, and Dolly Parton was her go-to and is still my go-to as well. So I don't know, 90s country is kind of where my heart is and always probably will be. But I think that's kind of another thing that makes us a little bit unique is we span a very big variety of genres with our influences and kind of try to bring them all to the table in different ways. So.
That's great. Jared, you're up.
I was never a country guy other than Garth Brooks.
Okay, but everyone's a Garth Brooks guy.
Garth Brooks. My dad used to play Garth Brooks. They had that, but mainly, their music, AC/DC, Aerosmith, Rush, all that stuff. So I was listening to that good stuff. First off, it was guitar players, Eddie Van Halen, Stevie Ray Vaughan, then later John Mayer. And then as I got into piano, it was more like... to begin with, it was like David Gray and Coldplay and those kind of things. That was kind of when I was in high school. So it's kind of where, and it's just everywhere now. So all over the map, yeah.
Well, sure. Whatever tweaks your ear, whatever catches the ear and you find interesting, why not gravitate towards it?
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. Musical experimentation and exploration of what other sounds you might like could make your day, right?
Diversifies you too.
It does diversify you. Scott, you were talking earlier about, we were setting up and you were telling me about the Garth Brooks tape story. Yeah. Share that now. That's fantastic.
My first car I put in Garth Brooks in pieces in the tape deck, and that stuck in the car for that first year. It didn't leave the tape deck. And then many, many years later, so that was like 90, we'll say like 96. And then like 2002, 2003, a new car had a CD player, and I put in Stone Sour's Stone Sour album from 2002. So and that stayed in the car for about a year or two. Yeah. So yes, it's Garth Brooks and all that 90s, 80s, 70s country. Yeah. And as well as the newer metal. Like right now I'm listening to a group that's called Electric Callboy, which is I think they're German, and they combine they combine heavy hardcore with techno.
Oh, interesting.
And it's, so that's kind of
Very
where
cool.
what I'm listening to now.
We got a little bit of
So
everything.
he's way all over. I'm just a little.
all over the place.
Captain Contrast
Yeah.
over there. That's great. Let's come back, starting with Scott, talking about your. We went over influences. What was the first instrument you learned? Because you're a drummer, but you dabble in other stuff. Or?
I do. The first instrument was the drums. My uncle Larry Gould is a drummer. He played with Armadillo for 30 some odd years. My cousin Kerry Gould is a drummer, and he played with Southern Justice for years, touring with them. He's playing with Along for the Ride. He's a really, really good drummer as well. So my first foray into music was playing drums off of what they showed me. And then after that, I just kind of picked up the piano a little bit. And then my dad was a guitar player, so I grabbed a guitar and a banjo and just kind of...
And now he plays 12 instruments at once in our band. And sings.
Which we'll see soon here. You guys are going to do a couple of songs, but I want to get through the rest of the list of Bethel Road musicians. Let's talk a little bit about your musical background and instruments that you've... Did you start with... Was guitar or
Started
piano?
guitar.
You did guitar first.
Started 9 years old. Was fortunate enough to be around Jody Weegar, a local music legend around here, when I was young, and looked up to him like crazy. So I said, "You need to learn to teach me to play guitar." Anyway, so 9 years old, he started teaching me.
Remember the
Gave me
first
about a
song
year.
you learned?
Yeah. Rock and roll ain't noise pollution.
AC/DC.
I still have the book.
Do you?
First lesson, tune the guitar, all this stuff at the bottom.
Really?
He said, "What song? I got to teach you a song every
That's
time to keep
great.
you interested." Has it tabbed out. Rock and roll
Very
ain't
cool.
noise pollution. Just the first verse.
And so every lesson you would learn a new song.
That was kind of his thing. He wanted to, if we could, you know.
If you could.
So, yeah.
That's great.
Very cool.
And then piano came later.
in
That was
Did
was
you
at
take
high
lessons
school.
here or?
Never took lessons.
Never took a lesson.
All my guitar lesson was without music, so I'm not musically trained.
Wow.
So I took some guitar with him, and then Chris McIntyre at Ted Good at one time, I believe that was his name. And then, piano I taught myself by ear too in the back band room at Crocus Plains when I was there, and took off with that too, and
Really?
never had a lesson with that. So
It's impressive.
yeah,
Morgan.
Well, I sing
Singing.
primarily.
Singing away.
I like to call myself a campfire guitar player, so that's.
Oh, good.
I play enough to maybe write some music, but that's about
neat.
it. I'm not
Okay.
great. I'm no
Well, all you
Jared
need
or
is
Scott.
3
but
chords.
that's-
Actually, some bands are doing it with 2.
Yes.
So
well, she pretty
maybe the
much
Electric
wrote our
Call
song.
Boys do that with 2 chords.
This is
Probably with
true.
1 and a drone in
Yes.
the background. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
They're not going to be watching, but if you guys are, hey, it's a joke. So we're gonna let's get into some music. You guys have an original that you're gonna share with us today and our viewers. Who wants to set it up? Who wrote it? What's it called? Go into all that good stuff before we.
It was
Get you
definitely
set
a
up.
team effort, I'd say, to write it.
She pretty much had the idea. And
Yeah, but like I have a million ideas, right? And so we got talking about it, and Jared and Scott are really good at putting, like I'm very much I sing it in my head, and then I sing it out loud, and Jared and Scott found the way to the music, and here we are with something to say. And yeah, we've had it for probably a couple years now that we've been
yeah,
playing
we played
so.
it lots live.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of a newer, I don't even know if I would call it country, like it's kind of a,
So when you're
Little
playing
bit,
it
yeah.
live, what's that moment you know when it's going over? Because it's weird. Some musicians say their songs are like their babies, and they sometimes don't want them going out in the world. Sometimes they do, and they're worried about them. How did the song hit you that you knew you felt secure about it and confident that it was going to be well received?
I think like we've played it enough now that especially we have quite a few awesome fans who come to quite a few of our shows and they recognize it and are knowing that it's our own original tune and starting to know the words and that kind of thing. That for me is it. Like if they're enjoying it. And
We usually play it early, so there's not dancing going on yet anyway. So that takes that element out of but it always gets an applause after. I think that's a big thing because a lot of times people tune out or whatever. if it's a song.
It lets us have that 3-part harmony in there too, which I think is our sound. So
You had me at 3-part harmony. I want to hear some of that right now, folks. This is Something to Say. It's Bethel Road, live off the floor here at the WCG studios on Manitoba Music Makers.
We've been here for a while now and seem to go round and round the problem. What's going on? And words they fall from your mouth, but that ain't what I'm talking about. I don't know where we've gone, and we seem to get further away with everything we don't say. So call me when you got something to say, something to make it all okay. 'Cause I'm tired of talking and I'm sick of these games. Call me when you got something to say. We stop and start and break our hearts and feel like we'll fall apart and end up right back here. Even though we go around and think this ship is going down, losing us is my biggest fear. And we seem to get further away with everything we don't say. So call me when you got something to say, something to make it all okay. 'Cause I'm tired of talking and I'm sick of these games. Call me when you got something to say. Oh, you've said and I've said and we've said a lot. Maybe it's time we just stop. Yeah, we just stop. And call me when you got something to say, something to make this okay. 'Cause I'm tired of talking and I'm sick of these games. Call me when you got something to say. Call me when you got something to say. Something to make it okay. 'Cause I'm tired of talking and I'm sick of these games. Call me when you got something to say. When you got something to say.
There we go. Something to Say. Bethel Road here on Manitoba Music Makers. Now that you've kind of settled down in your chairs and got your
I'm still
guitar put
sweating.
away here.
yes.
3-part harmony. Yeah, that was beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah,
Well
I think
done.
it's our sound for sure.
That's really good. So now that song, that's an original. So you're in that vein of more of you lean towards the country more than any other musical genre. right?
I would say so, but the nice thing about country these days is that it's pretty wide open. So I think we're able to take some of those earlier influences we talked about and kind of infuse them. So
Super. So you mix those together. You're talking 70s, 80s, 90s country, even some of the newer stuff.
Older too.
older.
You just kind of
Yeah.
pluck from whatever decade you feel you guys can do justice when you cover tunes.
Yeah.
Pretty much. We don't do a lot of new stuff unless it's more something you've brought up.
Yes.
We do a lot more of kind of the older to 90s.
The sing-alongs, the
I would think,
dance-alongs,
yeah.
those kinds of things.
Scott,
so.
what's your favorite song to play live? Cover song. We'll make it easy.
Okay, right now, it's new to our set. It's 9 to 5 by Dolly Parton.
9 to 5.
Yes.
That's your favorite song to play cover?
Right now,
Really?
probably
We
because
play
it's
it
new.
well.
You play it well, and I'll bet you it goes
It has
over
a lot of words. I love
gangbusters.
gelling.
Yeah, there's a lot of. So do you do the typewriter thing in the background too with the tick tick ting?
I try with a shaker.
That'd be cool. I'd like
And
to
the
see you
tambourine.
replicate that. That would be great. Just get one of those bike bells with the ding.
I could do that part.
Could do that.
Yeah.
Or a triangle.
Yeah,
There you go. Bing.
Oh,
Jarrett, favorite song to play live?
Anything that's like one of our kind of stadium type tunes, but probably Any Man of Mine, Shania Twain.
yeah, Shania too.
All of our Shania tunes go over gangbusters. So
Yeah.
Did you see that the video that's now on TikTok? She had some sort of a
Yes,
stick in her
I
hand
did.
or whatever, like for a cowbell or whatever.
Yeah.
And then she, of course, her mic, and she was doing
Sang
a
out
call and
the
response thing, and she sang into the wrong thing, and somebody had the camera
It was
out filming it.
perfect.
But
That would
she
be
howled at
That
it. She
would be
laughed
me
it
for
off.
sure.
She laughed it off. Yeah, that was,
I would do that. Yeah. Yeah, but she did. I saw her in Winnipeg a couple years ago, and she was or last year. She was fantastic.
good show?
It was great. Yeah.
your favorite song to play live?
I love them all, but honestly, Hallelujah is probably my favorite and always has been.
And
so.
a little birdie told me earlier that would be one of the songs you're playing on the show today, but we're going to save that. We're going to save it for when you keep watching because it's coming, all right? A few more questions. Let's get into some, actually, Cullen, if you want to roll some photos, we're going to do some
boy.
extra promotion for Bethel Road. This is a new segment of the show I just thought I'd incorporate. We're going to run some photos, and you tell me when a photo pops up what it's about. That's a nice. Whose dog is that?
Okay, what is his name?
oh, good
I
for
see.
you.
Bernard?
He's a therapy dog, and he goes to like Brandon Hospital and to schools, and he was at one of our shows, and he was the most chill dog you could possibly imagine.
That was Firehouse.
It was at the
That's
firehouse,
awesome.
and he came right up on stage and was quite content up there.
That
so
is so
I wish I
cool.
remembered what his name was, though. He was
A
a pretty cool
rescue
dog.
dog. That's great.
Yeah.
And is that the same guitar, Jared? Or
Yeah, that's been the same axe for about 14 years now, so
And I
that's
see-
why it's probably
I see
acting up.
Scott has got a new hat.
Well, no,
So
that
it's-
one's just tipped back.
Oh, you tipped your back?
I was pretty hot back then.
That's excellent. All right. Picture time continues. You're out in the middle of the road.
Bethel Road.
Yeah, in the middle of
That's on Bethel Road right
It's
there?
on Bethel Road. Bethel Road. I live on a farm between Souris and Hartney, right near Delow, and Bethel Road is a road that runs that I go on.
By the way, the Hartney Bar called Scott. They want their chair back. I'm kidding.
We'll bring it back when we're. Are we?
Yeah, we are supposed to be playing the Hartney Bar not too
Okay.
long, so we could take it back to them.
Yeah.
When are you playing Hartney?
We aren't sure of
Was
a
that
date yet. We're just kind
confirmed?
of.
Coming up soon?
Their answer
All
is actually the Whistling
They'll probably
Donkey.
put something up in the bar, so watch for posters if you're in that area.
Absolutely.
Here's another one. You're on stage where?
That was in St. Rose, Delac, just before Christmas, doing what was that?
that was
Co-op?
Co-op. Yes.
Christmas party.
Co-op Christmas
Yeah,
party?
for Dauphin Co-op.
It was great. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome crowd.
Yeah, it is
That was a very fun
good
show.
people. That looks like St. Patty's show.
This was St. Patty's in Souris.
Souris.
Yes, it was great fun.
Is that before the show or after the show?
I actually think that's partway through.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
We're hiding in a green room
Same
there.
shirt.
Yeah. Oh yeah, look at that.
see.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the shirt.
It is.
Same shirt again.
Speaking of co-op, is that the same co-op gig?
Yes, that was
Okay.
at the same one.
Very good. And that looks to me like a promo poster.
I think that one was for we played the Oak Lake Fair, the outside fair.
Is that the
so-
Bethel Road shots too?
These are on
Yeah.
Bethel Road. Yeah,
Yeah.
Bethel Road is a dirt road.
the glamour
Same with
shots.
this one. Yeah.
Oh,
We had a
and the
very good
tall-
photographer.
That is a different
Who's your
shirt. I'm just
photographer
gonna
for that?
say.
Tara Wienick from Souris. And Scott is standing on a hill.
No, I'm not standing on a hill. That's my actual height.
Wasn't it an anthill?
It was definitely an anthill.
Yeah, we were getting bit.
Yeah.
Oh, it's upstairs at the
Go
firehouse.
back a little ways, that one.
This one was at the firehouse.
Just pre-COVID, I
Yeah,
think.
we were hanging out upstairs, and I'm definitely
2020
giving
maybe.
the boys heck for something. I don't remember what, but you were making some sort of lame dad joke, I think.
Well, naturally.
I think Scott farted.
So he's got the big smile on his face. That's excellent. So there we go. A little picture time is always
At least
fun.
I had more
great.
than one shirt in
Yeah.
those things.
Couple fun questions, and we'll get you to play your cover of Hallelujah here on Manitoba Music Makers. I like to just go around the horn on this one. If you could have supper or any meal with any rock star, living or past, who would it be?
Dolly Parton.
That didn't take you long to think of.
I'm Dolly, without
You know,
a question.
yeah. If I had the opportunity, I would take it in a heartbeat.
I think so. She would
She's
be-
like human sunshine.
And I can just imagine the stories that she'd be able to tell. So
Oh yeah,
that would be pretty cool.
probably it'd be a nice long supper. You'd
That's
be
my
like,
kind of
tell
supper."
me another story.
100%.
Jared,
Hands down, Matt Corey. But he won't return my calls. So if you see this show, Matt,
yeah,
I'm just kidding. No, it's probably...
Matt was on the very first episode of Manitoba
I saw
Music
Matt's.
Makers.
I had to put it in there. But no, probably John Mayer. He's an interesting
Oh,
guy.
yeah.
Yeah.
I get a lot of my playing from him, just the way I play, and he would be an interesting conversation, I think. So
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah,
just get him going, and then I wouldn't
Yeah.
even have to talk.
yeah.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I record this, Mr. Major?
I'm from Rolling Stone. No, just kidding.
Yeah, and then write a book later.
Yeah.
Brian Wilson.
Brian Wilson, Beach Boys, genius.
Absolute genius.
Yeah. Is it the high harmonies from him that pulls you in? Because you do those really well, Scott.
No, thank you. No, it's Brian Wilson. He could write, he could produce, I'm sure he could tell really good stories. It's Brian Wilson.
All the things.
Yeah.
He's a different one. Her story, Alice Cooper was talking about way back in the day in the early 70s when they used to do the partying with, it would be him, sometime the Beach Boys would be
Hollywood
in.
Vampires.
Yeah, John Lennon would be in the
Oh, wow.
mix, and a few other guys, even a couple of the guys from, who was that knockoff band of the Beatles? They had a TV show.
Oh yeah, it was
The Monkees.
It was the
Guy
singer
from the Monkees,
yeah.
and just an odd, weird pack of people. And Brian Wilson was at one party, and this, I'm just paraphrasing Alice Cooper, and he said he went up to his manager, and Brian Wilson said, I would like to meet John Lennon, if you don't mind, because John Lennon was with Alice Cooper. And so Alice, yeah, sure, I can set that up for you. So he introduced him and walks away, and John Lennon said, we've met before. He just does that all the time. Yeah, that's the kind of guy he was. So
Funny.
yeah.
Just to get up to that little room they
Keep it
had
on your
in the
toes.
Rainbow or whatever it was.
Funny.
Yeah. But if you could meet somebody for the first time more than the one time,
Be pretty neat.
I think John Lennon would be the one
Absolutely.
most people would pick too. So,
Yeah.
hallelujah to that. And with that, another song from Bethel Road here, live in studio at the WCG Studios on Manitoba Music Makers. Take it away, guys and gal.
I heard there was a secret chord David played and it pleased the Lord, but you don't really care for music, do you? Well, it goes like this.
Your faith was strong, but you needed proof. You saw her bathing on the roof. Her beauty in the moonlight overthrew you. She tied you to a kitchen chair, broke your throne, cut your hair. From your lips she drew the hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Baby, I've been here before. I've seen this room and I've walked this floor. I used to live alone before I knew you. I've seen your flag on the marble arch. Love is not a victory march. It's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Well, maybe there's a God above, but all I've ever learned from love is how to shoot somebody who outdrew you. And it's not a cry that you hear at night. It's not somebody who's seen a light. It's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah,
All right. There we go. There's another great example of those three-part harmonies.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a favorite.
I love that. So you're doing a lot of shows in and around, well, not a lot. You had a little bit of a break, but kind of, can we say, periodically, sporadically, they kind of keep popping up. It's always nice when the phone rings, right? Whereabouts do you mix Hallelujah into the evening on a Bethel Road performance?
It really depends on the show. We may throw it in the first set. Like
That's a heavy song. That's and you guys do it so well.
Well, and you want, you know, grandma to be there still.
But it's also almost like a...
But you can, we've ended the night with it too, you know? It just depends
Tell me
on the
about
show.
that. If you ever end a show with that, like if you guys can pull off Hallelujah like that, and you're ending a show like that, how does that go?
Didn't we end the, well, I think we have a video on our thing
yes.
at the Manitoba meeting of municipalities
We
or
did,
whatever it's
but
called.
what I was thinking of is we played it last in Elgin for Canada Day last year, and Jared broke a string or two strings on his guitar.
Oh yeah, that's
And so
pretty much standard.
we sang it a cappella for our very last song, and it went over very well.
Very,
and
very well.
It was totally, well, we got to do what we got to do, and
Yeah,
we
that's
made
right.
it work, and it was, the three-part harmonies definitely helped. So
There you go. Yeah. A cappella.
But most times probably earlier.
A cappella would be the way to go on that one
yes.
for sure. Let's do, before we get into upcoming shows for Bethel Road, another fun question. We'll start with Scott. We'll put you on the spot first. I like to throw this one in every once in a while. If you're on a desert island and you somehow miraculously have a stereo that has a record player,
Coconut stereo.
what three albums would you want? We'll come back to you, Morgan. We'll start with you. No, I'm kidding.
I think we're frozen.
yeah.
Sgt. Pepper.
Ooh, good pick.
And then I'd go with the very best of Queen.
How many have they got?
3.
Yeah.
So
Isn't
which
there
one's
a
that? Is that
box
the
set?
last one they put out? Or
No,
is it-
that's a double album from it's the late '90s.
So you know you get all the good hits on that one for
Yeah.
sure. That's kind of a cheat though. You got a double album on that one, but I'll let it go. I'll let it go. Good pick.
Good, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And then probably The Wall.
Which is another double album.
He's cheating.
Is he one of those pranksters that always likes to break the rules? Is that why you had him into the band? We need somebody.
Someone's
You
got to
know?
keep us
Yeah.
on our toes.
He
Yeah.
keeps the coupons.
He also
guys-
plays 7 instruments. So, you know.
Gotta have a guy around to spread the levity. Hey, Jared, go ahead.
Mine are way off the map because I could name a million that I want there, but just
course.
going back to a time period, you know, kind of like that grade 9, 10, 11, right when I got into CP Express, just, you know, that high school thing. Definitely John Mayer, Room for Squares, Coldplay, A Rush of Blood to the Head, which was their second album, and my other one would be David Gray, A New Day at Midnight. But just because it brings me back to that time, and it was
Yeah.
just a special time. You know?
It's so hard to condense them down to just 3, and it's a goofy question I like to throw in every now and again just to see what again, it goes back to your musical inspirations, right? And we're talking about music. The show's about music, and, you know, I think it's just it's a good question to chuck into the mix.
For
So,
sure.
Absolutely.
Well done.
Absolutely.
Wanted to be different.
Morgan?
I'm way different, of course. I would do, I'm going to steal from Scott's idea. I would do Garth Brooks' Greatest Hits for sure.
All double albums.
All double albums.
Yeah.
Come On Over from Shania. That's my like 90s jam. And then I would actually do I don't remember what the title of it is, but the Dolly Parton album that had, she actually wrote, and I read this or somewhere in a Dolly Parton book, that she wrote in the same night, within a couple hours, she wrote Jolene and I Will Always Love You in one evening. And I would love that album.
That's
Yeah.
a good night.
Yeah, I think it was a very emotional night by the sounds of it. But
Okay.
yes, but it was a pretty neat story. Yeah, so a little different. But this is where we
Yeah, it's,
kind of all
but I
fit
could have
together.
easily said, you know, what he said too. 'Cause
Exactly.
Queen's one of my favorite.
Yeah.
Like Freddie Mercury is one of
Exactly.
my favorite singers ever, and I think he's one of the greatest to ever do it live.
Got
And I was an entertainer, yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
A voice that stops you in your tracks, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Commands attention. I've had such a fun time chatting with you all,
likewise.
and hearing your stuff. I mean, I got to go out and see a show now. I really
Absolutely.
do. Speaking of which, where are you guys playing?
that's all you.
Do some
Jared.
plugs.
Oh, yeah.
Do some.
Okay.
Who's the manager?
Well,
Who takes the bookings?
We only,
Jared.
Jared's the
we
guy,
got a
all
few
right.
gigs coming up. The first one, next one coming up is July 19th, and that one is
The
where is that one?
Roseland Community Tailgate Cook-Off,
Yeah.
which is going to be great. So it's
Tailgate
just
cook-off.
yeah, delicious
Just-
food, and then there's a party, and
And
we'll be
there's
playing the
delicious
party.
music.
Delicious music.
Just
Delicious.
outside of Brandon, so
Yes.
not too far on that one.
Yes.
And then
And a feast for your ears.
And somewhere in
Absolutely.
here we are to be playing the Hardy Motor Inn and the Whistling Donkey and Cirrus as well, but we just haven't finalized those
well,
Dates.
I'm kind of
yet.
waiting for a kid, so
Yeah,
it's
we've
kind
gotta
of
wait
up in
on-
there.
Okay,
but
We
yeah.
gotta wait on
So,
baby.
The baby
so
comes
that's fun,
first.
yeah. And then next up, September 1st, that one is at Oak Lake Beach at their stage there.
the outdoor stage.
yeah, the new
September long
stage.
weekend.
So we're excited about that one.
Yes.
They've been getting lots of bands
Yeah.
out. I think and you said it's a new stage?
It's a new stage, yeah.
It is, yeah. They've done well out there.
That'll be our first time there. We've played the town a couple times, but
Yep. No, that's a fun venue to play. I've
Yeah,
played
you guys
there a
were
couple
there.
times with a couple different bands, and it's always a blast. So it's a good
is.
time.
Yeah.
Do you mind putting it out there to get your phone number out there so people can call you if they see this show? Maybe they want to book you guys for an event. Is there a number, or do they just go to your Facebook page?
Our Facebook page is probably the easiest place. So we are Bethel Road Music on Facebook
That's what it is,
because
okay.
Bethel Road, they thought we were a real road, so they wouldn't let us be Bethel Road.
Bethel Road Music.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you search for on Facebook. You know what? We're right at the end, and I just realized something. I didn't get the untucked memo, guys. I have to. Sorry. I'm all tucked in, looking all square. There we go. I
Now
could be
you
as
look
cool
good.
as Scott and Jared now.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's well.
welcome to the gang.
In here we have no AC today, and we're taping this, so folks, if it looks like we're sweating, that's why. Anyhow, on that note, but they played it cool, and we're so happy we had them here. Bethel Road Music, our latest guests on Manitoba Music Makers. If you miss an episode, go to the Sparks YouTube channel. The Spark is the co-sponsor of this program. along with WCG TV, and we thank you so much for watching. Take care.